Barrister Kenneth, viewers listening to you will be amazed at, this serious, I want to use the word allegations, that the NDC is the biggest criminal enterprise. And with all the shenanigans that went on with the primaries, I've seen some of those videos anyway. But I want you to quickly take this together. Because when people listen to you speak about Peter Obi, questions have been raised as to, is there any personal animosity between both of you men? Did you guys chase each other's wives or something? Or is there a piece of land you fought over? But then listen to what, I sat with some of your former colleagues in the Labour Party. I sat with them one-on-one, not hearsay, no rumors. Honorable Afam Ogene alleges, that your actions, your words are politically motivated for personal gain. Peter Ume, somebody you know very well, a former chairman of IPAC, says that Peter Obi is the one that gave you this popularity that you enjoy so much. And personally, I tried to ask him that Kenneth Okonkwo is globally renowned for movies. He said no, it was Peter Obi that brought you to personal, national fame. Now, Senator Victor Ume, also your former friend or colleague, said, he says you are craving for Peter Obi's money. And it's because Peter Obi refused to give you money. You are laughing because I found that actually very, 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 very disrespectful to your person because I know you very well. So, these three gentlemen, how do you respond to them? And others, how do you respond to them? Let's do it, as brief as possible.
Oh my goodness me. First of all, let me make one statement. I do not quarrel my friends because of a politician. Because politicians do not quarrel themselves because of their followers. That's the foolishness of the followers. But look at the people that are now using Kenneth Okonkwo to gain relevance. And they are saying another person give me relevance. Let me talk about Peter Ume. Because he has called my name not once, not twice. And it's unfortunate. You know why? And I'm going to try to be as brief as possible.
Yes.
I recall the first time I started getting close with Peter Ume was when Labour Party started getting into problem. And they invited me and pleaded with me to find solution to the legal problems of Labour Party. And I felt challenged. And I told them, look, and they said they want to give me a position. Which one do I want? I said, sorry, I don't want any position. Now, can't you see Nigeria is so bad? Let's bring solutions first to issues. And I went home and prayed. And as usual, God gave me inspiration. That was why I drafted the legal opinion that brought peace to Labour Party. When they saw the way I was going about the solution, even Peter Ume came to lobby me to be the national chairman of Labour Party.
Really?
When we were fighting for solution for Labour Party problem, when I rejected every post, and they are still alive, the people I'm talking about, NLC, there was one commission headed by one professor, to bring solution to Labour Party. I rejected every position. Peter Ume himself was lobbying to be national chairman. And he came to my house. He sat somewhere to lobby me. And in myself, I'm like, so all the thing these people are interested in is power. And to confirm that it is power, this guy was interested in. When did he start following Peter Obi? Look at what he said himself, because at times they will incriminate themselves without knowing. He said when Peter Obi was going to ADC, I did not follow him. And I'm like, let me listen to why. He said because he told Peter Obi he wasn't going to get the ticket. So Peter Ume, the only reason you're following Peter Obi is for ticket. So anytime you're sure he won't get ticket, you won't follow him. Then what is the loyalty you're claiming that you have for your leader? Because a follower to a leader follows him. If you're loyal to him, whether he will get ticket or not, you may advise him, and whatever decision he takes, you will respect it and follow him. But this is a man who said, I refused to follow Peter Obi to ADC. Because I know they will not give him ticket. Peter Ume, just confess you're looking for power, not the person of Peter Obi. You're looking for ticket. You're following ticket. But let me even shock you. He was lying. When Peter Obi left Labour Party, one, he was very annoyed with Peter Obi. That when they set up that caretaker committee, Peter Obi announced Nenad Usman instead of Ame. So he was annoyed with Peter Obi. So when Peter Obi left for ADC, he refused to follow him because he wanted to stay back to lobby for the same national chairman, because they told him that there will be convention, and in the convention they will choose new leaders. That was why he didn't follow Peter Obi. Go and check all his social media handles, whether he mentioned or said anything at all about Peter Obi. During that time, he stayed back in Labour Party, chasing to be the national chairman. Unfortunately, when they did the convention, they didn't give you. Who would want to give a glutton, their national chairman, for him to eat up the party and get fat? So again, in the national convention, they did not give him the national chairman. And after that, he resigned. He even mentioned it in his resignation letter. He sent that one to me. He wrote, all the promise you made to me, in private and in public, you refused to keep any.
It's sent to you.
Yes.
In his resignation letter, you have a copy of that.
Yes, I do.
Wow.
I do.
The same Peter Obi.
Peter Ume. And he wrote it. That was why he left Labour Party. So when he's claiming that it is because Obina entered NDC that he's following Peter Obi again, liar. He's following power. He's following ticket. When Peter Obi left Labour Party, he did not mention Peter Obi's name because he didn't want to displease those people in Labour Party that he knew. And he's calling my name. Say Peter Obi made me that by 1992, I was an internationally recognized celebrity, making people relevant. When you're a spokesperson to somebody, one, you are chosen because of the value you add, not because anybody wants to make you relevant. Just like when you're chosen to be an actor, because of the skill that is in you. And it is the value you bring that makes you relevant. And because the person choosing you wants you to use your skill to make him relevant. And everybody knows what we did in 2023. The records are there. He said, Kenneth Okonkwo, he has his own reason. Atiku has started cutting me. Peter Ume, who is cutting you? Who will cut a glutton that has nothing to offer? If Atiku is cutting me, to God be the glory. It is because they believe I have value to add. When they talk money, they say, from what you said, they will insinuate money. Okay, let's go to Victor Ume. First of all, let me make one point clear. And I said this to the glory of God, not by my own power, not by my own might. Since I was born, I have never lacked anything. Since I was born, I have never lacked any. So I have never had any reason or need to ask for help monetarily from anybody. So, and I give glory to God. Because assuming he had made me to be born by poor parents, I wouldn't be able to say what I'm saying. That's why the glory should go to God. Assuming he has not given me the talents, at 24, that was when I did Andy Okeke. And whatever I said in Nollywood was what I was paid. Whatever hotel I wanted to be, anything I wanted, until I said I am no longer acting, and they are still waiting for me. Some scripts, some producers are still waiting for me. To date. When he said that the children that are born now, I acted my last movie, 2020, when we did the remaking of Living in Bondage. So even the children of today, they still call me Andy. Because they corrected him when they said, but this man was a celebrity. He said, yes, he was popular. He's an actor. I liked him very well. But let's go to Victor Ume. It was after Victor Ume said what he said that I now realize why in Nollywood, those men with long red cap, we use them to depict evil men. In Nollywood. Those men, that's why I am always scared for anybody calling me chief. Even when after taking the title in Igbo land. Because chief sounds so much like thief. People might not know the difference. So a lot of those people, Chief Victor Ume, you don't know that it sounds so much like Chief Victor Ume.
Yeah, that's a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic.
He may be a senator, but he's not distinguished. And I'll tell you why. This man was the chairman, national chairman of APGA. If there's one person that he loathes, he detests, is Peter Obi. It was from his mouth, when he was national chairman of APGA, that he told the world that Peter Obi will never have peace. By his own mouth. That anywhere he likes, let him run and go. Because he's serving under a curse. This is Victor Ume talking. That he vowed before Ojukwu that he will never leave APGA. And that if he leaves APGA, let him not have peace. And that he's condemned forever, that he will never have peace. It was Victor Ume's mouth that said this. As a spokesperson to Peter Obi, I was confronted with what Victor Ume said, and I had to start cleaning it up. I remember telling them that Victor Ume himself saying it, where is he? He has come back to run after Peter Obi. And the reason is because when you are in a place and the things that made you to enter into an agreement no longer exist, you are no longer compelled to keep that agreement. That was how I defended Peter Obi. I have been defending Peter Obi in everything. Even when I'm no longer speaking for him. Remember when the governor of Edo State harassed him? Remember when they wanted to assassinate him? I was not speaking for him anymore. But I came out to defend him. If I had any personal grudge, will I do it? Now, Victor Ume, the man whose activities helped to drive Peter Obi out of APGA, is now the one coming to talk and call Kenneth Okonkwo in things concerning Peter Obi. Why did he turn back to start following Peter Obi again? After being the national chairman of APGA, he contested to be the senator of his own constituency, where Peter Obi also belongs.
Oh, they're from the same senatorial constituency?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
From almost the same kind of town.
Wow.
Agolo.
Wow.
He came to contest to become a senator. You know, Senator Ekunife beat him.
Wow.
He went to court to cancel the election. Yes. Senator Ekunife said, I will beat him again. And Ekunife went and beat him again.
Wow.
After being a national chairman of APGA. So Victor Ume has no political worth, no political value. Even in NDC, one young man from his own senatorial zone had told the world now that he had won the election. It's just that NDC is a criminal party. So they may deny the young man of his vote to give to these evil men with long cap. So Victor Ume now knew that he was politically gone. Then when he saw Obi's wave in Labour Party, he now ran back again, the same man you loathe, to want to start following Peter Obi. And we spoke all of them. I remember how I had to fight even the Anambra State governor for their sake. And we spoke all of them to victory. Victor Ume, even when we were all entering ADC, Victor Ume made it clear, and he spoke to me directly, that the only chance the Igbo people have is to align with the North. And for our brother Peter Obi to be a vice president to Atiku.
He said this to you?
He said it to me.
Wow.
I told him, yes. I told him, have you told Obi this? He said, yes. But that Peter Obi is very stubborn. That if you tell him anything, he would not believe. But he will continue to try. This same Victor Ume, anytime he sees me, he said himself that we had private discussion. He talked about money. I was surprised. You know why? Kenneth Okonkwo, has never had any meeting between me, Peter Obi, and Victor Ume for life. We have never had any meeting.
The three of you together?
Three of us together, as in a meeting.
Yes. For life. It has never happened. So where did he bring that up?
I don't know. You would ask him. Then again, from the time I met Peter Obi until we finished that election, I never discussed anything about money with him. at all. And you know why I'm happy? Those people are alive and they are well. So go to Ume to tell you where he got his own news from. And you know what? Ume said, Kenneth Okonkwo said, he will not work with Peter Obi again over his own dead body, not mine. Please, everybody that knows me knows that I don't swear when I talk. My yes is my yes. My no is my no. My religion forbids me from swearing. Because Jesus Christ said anything outside it comes from evil. He said you cannot swear with your head because you cannot make one strand of your hair white or black. I don't even use the word never. I tell people that never belongs to God, that I'm a human being, that I can change. So where did Peter Obi and Victor Umeh, because all of them are the same, where did Victor Umeh bring the issue that I said something and added a swearing on it? It is his head that he's talking about, not me. Now, because these evil men, they will mix some truth and want to mix it with lie. He said, I will not work for Peter Obi again. Let me state it clearly. By July 2024, did I not say it publicly that I will not work for Peter Obi again? What is news about it? When I said I wasn't going to speak for him, I am the most transparent and accountable politician to the people whenever I want to do something. So I told the world that already. I am not going to work or speak for Peter Obi again. That I said publicly. However, I said when he came into my party ADC, if he emerges as the presidential candidate, I am going to work for him as a loyal party member. I said so. So where did Victor Obi get his, when he said over his dead body? Now, whenever Victor Ume sees me, he praises me. He pours blessings upon me. He said one of those ones in front of my wife when we met in an occasion, because we have never had any meeting, me and Victor Ume, as in called for a meeting for us to sit down and have it. We have never had it anywhere in the world. So when he say we have private discussion, it is only like we meet in occasion, this and that. So in one of the occasions, after I had said I am not working for Peter Obi, after I had said things about him not being decisive, when he met me in one occasion, he was praising me and thanking me for what I'm doing for Igbo. In one of the occasions, he said it in front of my wife. The last time I met him in an occasion in Enugu, I was the one that was called to give him an award. And in front of the whole world, he didn't need to praise me because I was the one giving him an award. But he stood up praising me and blessing me. So when Victor Ume, like I said, when he saw he cannot survive on his own politically, that was when he now knew he's an adventitious route that needs to put his proboscis inside a taproot so that he'll be sucking that taproot. That was when he now knew he needed Peter Obi. That was when he started following Peter Obi. And he would say all these useless things at the back. So when I now said, that time I said, if Peter Obi leaves the coalition, then he's a mobile squatter. Yes. And he's working for Tinubu. Then he sent me a text, I shouldn't be saying this. It will not work well for me. I say, enough of your hypocrisy. You're a hypocrite.
He sent you a text and you replied it.
Yes, now. I say, you're a hypocrite. Stop that hypocrisy. It doesn't work with me. Please. Because I know what you're saying privately now. You're a hypocrite. And please. They are the problem of Igbo. Because they will come and say things privately. And all those elected people you saw following Obi, it is for selfish survival. All of them, we have the same opinion that we need to align with the North. So that, but if our brother does not want to agree, let him go and contest in the primary. So if he wins, all of us will support him. That's the decision we reached. But if he doesn't win, let him align with the North so that we can defeat Tinubu and stand a better chance for the North to support us when it is now the turn of the South. And we were to make a negotiation so that the person will govern for 4 years to finish the remaining parts of the South, so that it will come to the Southeast. We did not believe that South is going it alone can win an incumbent, and that we need the support of the North. All of us agreed. And Peter Obi came into ADC based on that agreement. But like I said, they used NDC to lure him. And being an extremely selfish man, he left all the people. Peter Obi is one of the person that can never fight for any of his followers. Once he gets his own, let the followers go to hell. He doesn't care. Now, did you say Alpha more again?
I thought you were going to. That's a perfect gentleman.
No, thank you for that.
That's a perfect gentleman.
Alpha more again, I would have spared him. But
You have to spare him.
I
on
don't
my
know
behalf.
whether to spare him or to.
On my behalf.
Okay. Let me just give him little. Now, before, when Afomogene them were elected, before they got into the National Assembly, we had a meeting. And in that meeting, with all the elected people on Labour Party, I stood up, House of Rep. I begged them. Thank God other people were there. I said, please, if you want to respect Labour Party and prove to Nigerians that they are not wrong voting us, that they were not wrong voting us, please maintain your independence. When you go now for this election, choose one of yours that he will be the speaker. And once they count the votes and it's 34, Nigerians will know that you're not choosing the person to win, but to prove to Nigerians that you are independent and you have come to challenge the status quo. That please don't go and be swallowed by APC from the one. If you ever take their own candidate, you are swallowed from the one. Afomogene was there. They went into the chambers. After they were giving injections.
Were you there to know whether they give the
injections? Thank God it was open ballot. When it reached Afamogene's turn. And you know the funny thing? They had promised to make Afamogene the minority leader. When he stood up, he said, my heart is for Idris Wase, but my vote will go to Tajuddin. I heard it, I said, what? Wow. So this is a man who could not even follow his heart because of inducement, because of corruption. And you are able to say it publicly. Your heart is with Idris Wase, but you will vote for Tajuddin. Corruption. Open confession.
Maybe it was conviction, not corruption.
You follow your heart. Jesus Christ said, where your treasure is where your heart is. So spiritually, his treasure was Ibrahim Wase. But because of corruption, he voted for Tajuddin. This is the same man saying, Kenneth Okonkwo is paid to be an actor. Yeah, what, did I tell you I wasn't paid to be an actor?
We need to move.
Hold on, lastly. Because a man who could not follow his heart, do you know what happened? After that, I called him. I said, Afam, what happened? You couldn't even follow your heart. Even if you're sensible, why would you say your heart is here? Do you know what? Because of that, they did not give him the minority leader. They denied him that. Because they were like, this corrupt person that will take money from us. And you will come to even tell the world that your heart is this place. And at least Kenneth Okonkwo follows his heart. Afamogene could not follow his heart. We went to Ibadan. The last thing I went with him. Where he was part of the Ibadan delegate. Where we agreed that all the opposition parties will produce one candidate. And they were there.
Ibadan Summit.
Ibadan Summit. Afamogene was there with me. We joined the same flight. And all of us agreed. And within one week, 2 weeks, this and that, you are already coming out, running after Peter Obi. And is that a man? His heart is with ADC.
Let's move on.
But his vote is for Peter Obi. So that he will secure his own seat in Anambra State. Chicken. All these dishonorable men.
No, that's too strong a word.
No, very dishonorable. No. A man that your heart is somewhere and your vote is somewhere. Are you an honorable man? Kenneth Okonkwo follows his heart, no matter the consequences.
We're made differently.
And like I told you, I've not had the opportunity, and God will continually deny me the opportunity to beg for money. You know what God said? David said, I was young, and now I am old. I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. I will never look for money. I will follow my heart. I am not an Afomogene that is so corrupt that he cannot even follow his heart. He's following the money.
You said you spare your friend, though.
Okay, Afam, let me talk like you. I don't know whether if I finish this, whether we will still be friends, but you are my friend.